Network Entertainment.
What does this do for you and your mind and how you go about your day and approach your day and cope with it?
It sets the pace. Because I've given myself this morning to breathe, it kind of regulated my nervous system for the day. It sets the pace for the day where it's like, I'm here, I'm embodied, I'm inside myself, my soul is with me, let's go.
Right.
Versus getting up and checking my phone and, oh my God, I forgot to send this and oh, I should have emailed that. And then you're off to this frantic start
Chasing,
and your nervous system is just already in this frantic energy and it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
You know?
Which is how the rest of us live.
Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be that way. We do have a choice on how we can start our day.
Right.
That's the beginning.
Hi, this is Mirza Season. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go!
When life becomes overwhelming and stress, anxiety, burnout, grief, or uncertainty make it hard to breathe, how do you come back to yourself? We live in a culture that rewards constant motion, so slowing down makes us feel guilty or selfish. But for today's guest, being present stopped being a luxury. It became her lifeline. She's worn many hats as a top model, acclaimed actress and TV host, successful art curator, internationally recognized wellness facilitator, and a yoga and meditation teacher for over 20 years. After many years in fashion and entertainment, life brought her face to face with loss and uncertainty, the passing of her brother and her son's life-threatening illness. Through it all, she found her anchor in radical presence, not just as a coping tool, but as a way of being. Today, she'll share how we can all bring more calm, clarity, courage, and meaning into our everyday lives. Please welcome Teresa Herrera Anthony.
Thank you, Mirza.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
So happy. I'm instantly calm by your presence.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, how have you been?
I've been okay.
What's keeping you busy?
Right now, currently, I'm focused on my son and I'm focused on his healing.
Right.
That's pretty much what's been keeping me busy this year.
Right. And you told me that he's feeling better, doing better.
Yes, he's doing better. I couldn't have asked or prayed for a better recovery.
Right. Through your careers as a model, host, and actress, it was the norm to embody perfection. Like you had to look your best, be your best. You had to be excellent at whatever you did. So I guess chasing perfection was expected, which so many women try to emulate, right? They want to look like you, be as excellent as you in what you do. But these days, you embody radical presence and resilience. Tell us about how you and your life have changed.
Let's go back to the very beginning.
Yes, the very beginning.
Since we were just talking about how we
first met.
Is when I came back to the Philippines to visit my mom. I had just graduated high school. And
How old were you? You were 16?
I was 16? No. I think I was like 17 or 18, somewhere there.
Right.
And I had just come back and I was approached to model or whatever here in the Philippines. And actually, it was that summer right before I was supposed to go to Parsons in New York for painting and sculpture. Right. I was on that road. I was on that path. And then I came back to visit my mom and I was approached if I wanted to do commercials. And then there was a thing called VTRs back then. Remember? We had to do VTRs. Yes. But instead of doing that, I joined Elite Model Look of the Year with Linda Evangelista came to guest and, be a judge in that. And it was the fastest way to, I guess, be seen by all the casting directors or whatever. And it was during Elite, Look of the Year, that's where I met my mentor, Joey Espino.
Oh, right. Yes, of Calcaris.
Yes. So Joey, it was before Calcaris. It was before he had
even
Calcaris.
Before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Way before he had Calcaris.
Right.
Way before he did Supermodel.
Okay.
He was a show director, and that's where I met him. And there was just something about him that we connected. We resonated. So I consider him like my mentor in this space, in the fashion space here in the Philippines. And when I remember meeting him, I was so green. I was such a baby. I remember meeting you and you gave me your card and I was like, wow.
I did.
You did.
Remember that. Yes.
I remember. And I didn't know anything. I really didn't. But, after that competition, we got a lot of inquiries. Actually, my mom was acting like she was my manager. I didn't have any representation back then. And my mom had done commercials before in her day, so she kind of knows how it goes. So, and I told my mom, I think I want to work with an agent. And she's like, okay. So she was guiding me every step of the way. And when I started working with Joey, I remember one thing he would always tell me, like, always stay grounded and feel good. It wasn't about looking good.
Okay.
It was about feel good. He always says presence of mind and feel good, because it has to come from the inside. It really does. And so I've, really took that to heart and worked on myself in that sense, working on myself, as a person, studying yoga, meditation, anything that I think would help kind of embody that feeling good.
Right.
It even permeates in how I eat, nutrition.
Right.
You got to just feel good. Everything it has to feel good. So on that kind of like, that was like my North Star, is feeling good. And because of that, the byproduct is looking good.
Yeah.
But as you know, in fashion, you're not born with that. Like it's all makeup,
Right.
hair, photography,
Yeah.
angles,
Right.
and now digital retouching. It's like,
yeah.
back in the day, there was no retouching.
No retouching.
No
Sleep
retouching.
early.
Exactly.
Sleep 8 hours.
Sleep 8 hours. You can't fake that.
Right.
Eat well, drink well, all that stuff. So what was the question? I lost the question.
You used to embody perfection
yes.
that people
And now,
emulated, and now what you embody is presence.
Yes. So we're in this industry of perfection.
Yes.
Right? For 20, 25 years, perfection. Front of camera, host, model, actor,
Curating
later.
your image
Yes,
online.
Yes. I'm really not good at that. But at the end of the day, it's like, how do I show up for myself? And really, how do we show up for each other?
Right.
And that really came home. Came home for me when I got married, and then I started my own family, started having children. How can I be present for these children?
Right.
How can I give my best? And in Buddhism, all we have is now. Really, all we have is now. Like Eckhart Tolle, his book, The Power of Now.
Right.
Because if we bring ourselves fully into this present moment, the next moment will take care of itself.
Right.
And so I try to use that, and that practice of radical presence, knowing that the next will take care of itself, and so on and so forth,
So did this realization come after you had children and not before? But then you were a yoga teacher and you taught mindfulness in class.
I think it was already embedded when I started doing my own practices. So when I was introduced to meditation at first in 1996, I think I was 18, 19 years old.
Right.
And then I started studying yoga, and I got certified as a teacher. So I have already started practicing mindfulness and meditation and yoga. So the seeds were already planted.
Right.
But I think when it really came to light is when I had children, and I had to really focus on where I needed to put my energy.
Right. And this was intensified even more early this year.
Yes.
When you said that your son's diagnosis cracked you open in ways you didn't expect.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've always been a person who, I'm a very creative person. I always have ideas and projects, and I'm always doing something, like I always have something going on. But when that happened, my world came to a stop. It was halted. And I was like, the only thing I'm going to do is focus on him, and I'm going to focus on him getting better. That's it.
Right.
And I really tuned out all noise, all fronts, social media, everything, because I just wanted to put 100% energy onto him. So that's what I did.
Right. And this carries on to today.
Yes.
Right. Tell us about how you have made your presence radical. Why is it called radical presence instead of just presence?
I call it radical presence because it's really intentional, whereas I think I saw one of your questions was like, what's the difference between mindfulness
Yeah.
and radical presence?
Right.
So mindfulness, I think, relates to, it's more internal. It's gentle, it's more intention, setting intentions. And whereas radical presence is more embodied. It's more, mindfulness is how I relate to myself.
Right.
Whereas radical presence is how I relate to someone else.
Oh, okay.
So instead of the kind of lens on me, radical presence is
Right.
how can I show up for you?
Right.
How can I be here for you? How can I be a good friend? How
Right.
can I be a good wife?
Right.
How can I be a good mother? So that's when I say radical presence. It's really intentional. I'm here. I'm embodied. There's no phones around me. Like you
Right.
have my attention 100%.
Right. What are ways when we kind of go through the motions and we're not really present
Yes.
that you have observed, or maybe in yourself or in others?
Well, in this day and age, definitely phone and social media.
Yeah.
And I read a study recently that children who's growing up in this age, who's growing up with an iPhone or their parents having an iPhone, I read a study that said children get 30% less eye contact
Ouch.
growing
Yeah.
up. And that affects them because children learn by looking, by faces, by people. And when everyone's on their screens and no one's looking at them or handing them a screen because they're getting kulit or whatever, that's 30% less interaction. That's 30% less education. That's 30% less emotional, intelligence. That's 30% less everything.
Wow.
And I think our children deserve more than that.
And so in your household, what happens?
It's really hard to avoid. We have screen time. My kids are that age; they love playing Minecraft.
Right,
It's
right.
like the thing.
Right.
But we try to give them time, but also make sure that we fill their schedule with play. A lot of play dates, outdoor activities, field trips, things that I think they would be naturally interested at.
Right.
And then we give them screen time.
So dinner time, I assume, no phones.
Yeah, for the most part.
Right. Right.
When I'm with my kids, I will reply hours later. I don't
Okay.
have my phone near me.
Okay.
Most of the time when I'm in
And
my
to your
kids.
friends as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most
Okay.
part. Or like my friends know I reply at 5 a.m. in the morning because that's when I'm up and I don't have any kids around.
Right.
And I will reply quickly, get whatever I need to out, set schedules, whatever. And then, once I'm on for the day, I'm pretty much on, whether it's
Right.
appointments or I have to do things or I'm with my kids. I try to be present for that.
Is this hard to do, to get other people who are trying to reach you, get used to your philosophy? Or have you trained them?
No, it's really hard. You can't train people. It's
Like
hard to
only
train.
text me.
No. I don't say that. I never
Okay,
say
okay.
that because if people if it's an emergency, they call me.
Right.
It really is. If
Right,
people,
right.
the people that I know and love know how to get in touch with me.
Okay.
They'll call me if it's an emergency. They have
Right,
it.
right.
But if it's if it's something that can wait, it can wait.
Right.
I'll get back to them when I check Instagram or when I
Right.
check when I get to it.
Right. Walk us through your day when you practice radical presence with intention.
Okay,
Like
so
with the typical day-to-day
typical day today.
activities.
I like to start my day waking up early, waking up just before the sun rises, and I like to do a meditation practice.
Okay.
And lately I've been doing this inner renewal practice by Master Del Pei. So that was really where you imagine yourself in front of the ocean, and it's just
Every
so-
morning.
Every morning. I change the practice.
Right, right.
I meditate every day, but sometimes I change the guided meditation, or sometimes I don't have any guided meditation. I just listen to music.
Right.
Sometimes it's just birds. They're
Right.
just giving myself that time. And so I start with that, and then I do a yoga practice, 20 to 30 minutes. I flow, open up my body, loosen things up, and then I will walk my dog normally, and then come back, take a shower, change, and make breakfast for the kids.
Right.
That's usually-
What does this do for you and your mind and how you go about your day and approach your day and cope with it?
It sets the pace. Because I've given myself this morning to breathe, it kind of regulated my nervous system for the day. It sets the pace for the day where It's like, I'm here, I'm embodied, I'm inside myself, my soul is with me, let's go.
Right.
Versus getting up and checking my phone and, oh my God, I
Right,
forgot to send
right.
this, and oh, I should have emailed that. And then you're off to this frantic start,
Chasing,
and your
yeah.
nervous system is just already in this frantic energy, and it doesn't have to be that way,
Right.
you know?
Which is how the rest of us live.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
like, it doesn't have to be that way. We do have a choice on how we can start our day.
Right.
That's the beginning.
Right.
Do you feel lost, doubting yourself, and tired? You question your worth and existence? Well, I'm here for you. Hey, this is Gailey Chavez, and I'm the host of Free Yourself Podcast. My podcast talks about self-love, self-discovery, and growth. This is for everyone who wants to live their fullest life and become the person that they could be. Let me help out and remind you that this is your life, your path, that you are not broken, and you are worth it. Catch me every Friday at 8 p.m. See ya!
And once you go through this, when you do open your phone and get inundated by real life, what do you recommend people do? Are there like tools or things that you practice in order to cope with all these disturbances and distractions?
Yes, like definitely now in this day and age, and especially with AI,
Yes.
there's so much
Oh, yes.
information coming at us.
Right.
You know, with social media, so much. And then now AI, whoa, double. I mean, did you notice that since they launched AI, your junk mail has like doubled or
Oh
tripled?
my gosh, I didn't even notice.
I noticed because now also Apple has this thing where it automatically sorts your mail. I don't even see it anymore, which is fantastic. Whereas before, I would literally have to go through and delete everyone. You know, but what I would recommend if you have a start time,
Right.
like when I say I'm going to work, it means I'm sitting down on my desk and I'm with my computer, and that's start time for work. And I don't want to start before that.
Right.
You know, I really try to delineate, this is morning time for me. These are time for my kids.
Right.
This is my work time. And then I go back to my kids, and this is wind down time. And this is my evening bedtime if I want to just calm myself down or do more practices or whatever, you know, and giving yourself that space and grace to compartmentalize. Because if each minute and each hour of the day, media, social media, AI, everything infiltrates,
Yeah.
your mind is going to be scattered,
Right.
you know, and you're going to be forever elsewhere.
Right. When your son fell ill and you were in crisis, how did mindfulness and radical presence help you get grounded
Oh,
and
Mirza.
survive?
Wow. That I leaned on every single tool I learned, from breathing practices. A lot of it is just staying calm and being in the present moment and tuning out the noise, because that's the only way you'll have clarity
Right.
and really hear what it is. Am I meant to go this way, or am I meant to go this way? Am I meant to go with this doctor, or am I meant to go with this doctor? Like, this doctor feels more in line with our flow. Like, you know, and your child is really depending on you to make intelligent, wise decisions in those, you know,
Right.
important things. So, yeah.
Because most people will say, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time for the yoga. I'm just going to like make my decisions. What do you have to say to that?
I say, give me your phone and I will check your screen time.
Right.
Give me your phone.
Right.
And if I see 4 hours, 6 hours,
Right.
I will take your phone from you. Yeah.
You also said that seeing your son being so resilient
Yes.
taught you to be strong,
Yes.
to be fully alive. Tell us
Yeah.
about that and how we can apply it
Yeah.
to our own life.
You know, did you ever hear that quote, when the student is ready,
Yes.
the teacher appears?
And your son was a teacher?
My son is the teacher.
Wow.
He was the teacher of radical presence.
How old is your son?
9.
Okay. How?
Just the way he embodies it every day. He's present.
While he was sick.
Yeah. While he was sick, he's a little warrior. Like just the way he is and how he shows up with joy, with lightness. It makes me emotional just thinking about it because it's like, yeah, that's how we should show up, you know? It really is. He's present. And if he went through treatment yesterday, the next day, full of light, full of joy. He's got this like bounce in his step. And I was like, I need to be more of that.
Right.
You know, it's like it really is. I'm learning so much from him.
What are the top 3 things you've learned from him about how to show up?
Do less. Enjoy more. What else? Go to the zoo every weekend.
Really simple stuff, right?
Simple stuff. Kids are simple.
Right.
And we all know these things.
We do.
Right? We all know these things, but we
what's
forget.
gotten in the way?
Work.
Work.
This thing called work.
Right.
And this idea and image we have of ourselves that we have to maintain, but we really don't.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, nobody really cares. We just care about like, for me, what's most important now that AI is really taking over and that, technology is exponential is it's going to be human relationships are going to be more important now than ever before. Like, how are we going to show up for each other? And this is what radical presence mean to me now. You know, I could be friends with someone for 20 years from like when I was second grade and it still feels so like I just saw them yesterday.
Why is that?
But the newer friends now, it feels like they could just fly away because everyone's so distracted.
Yeah.
No one takes time to build a relationship, to understand each other, to have depth, to sit down and have coffee for 30 minutes without the phone on the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's so rare to have, people around you like that. But I really hope we can, ignite that in the culture space again.
Right. So has this changed the way you've bonded with your friends?
I show up as me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And those who are in alignment stick, and those who don't, don't. Right. I don't have to do anything.
You don't get guilty about
no,
growing
not at
apart
all.
or
not at all. I mean, we all have our seasons, right? Like when we're in our 20s, we're going out all the time, having fun. But then when you get married and have children, everyone knows you go off and you have to cocoon with your families and live your own lives. And, if you're really friends, they understand. There's no guilt. There's no need to like pressure each other or guilt each other. Just none of that.
Right.
At least my friends, in my friend circle, there's none of that.
Right. What's your advice for all the young women? Majority of my listeners are young women who are wrapped up in the fast pace of constant motion and hustle culture and trying to keep up with everyone.
Don't buy into it. Don't buy into the hustle culture. I do understand working hard and I do value a work ethic and working hard towards a goal, towards a career, but don't let the external noise pull you away from your goal.
Right.
Because sometimes people think the noise is the goal.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
The noise is noise.
Right.
Focus on what it is you want to do and what you want to bring into this world or how you want to advance or how you bring value to your company.
Right.
Where do you see that next step?
Right. And you have some tips for us about how to integrate radical presence without going on a retreat or
that's actually good because a lot of people don't have time, right? They don't have time to go on a retreat. If you can, do a class of some sort, whatever it is, however it is.
Doesn't have to be yoga.
It doesn't have to be yoga. Whatever it is for you. Some people love Pilates. Some people love dancing. I love dancing.
Right.
I have like a 4:30 dance party every day.
You mean a physical class?
You can go to a class, do it at home, but just give yourself that space to do practice.
A class for movement.
Yes.
Right.
Movement, or you can be outside. You can go for a hike.
Right.
Go for a walk. Walking my dog has been so healing for me, especially since my brother passed. I was walking 2-3 times a day with my dog.
Right.
And without listening to anything, just, looking up and just just walking, just keeping your body in motion. There's something about keeping your body in motion that moves whatever it is, in you, whatever it is you're trying to work out. If you want to get enlightened or have like some big ideas, I always like to be near nature. I find that helps.
Right.
Being in nature, being near a park, being near a body of water of some sort. But if you can't do that and you only have your apartment or your condo or your studio, whatever it is, then just light a candle.
Right.
That's simple. That's not taking anything from you, but just something about a presence of a candle that just makes, just illuminates things within us. I don't know. That could be like a primal tribal thing from when we were Neanderthals.
And you brought your whistle.
And I brought my love tuner. But if you're stuck in a car and someone cuts you off and you have road rage.
Before you go into road rage.
So I have this, it's called a love tuner. And it's created by my friend out of LA. And they created this based on the 528 frequency, which is the frequency of love, miracles, and healing.
Oh.
And what it is it acts like a whistle. So you breathe in. And I don't know if you feel that, but I could
calm.
I could just feel my body instantly relax. Right? So it's frequency. It's working with this frequency of the love tuner. So I do this. I have this around my neck. So I do this like a few times a day if I'm just around. Another practice that helps, I feel, is breathing. Even 5 minutes, just being present with your breath. It kind of brings your mind and body back together.
Right.
So you're there. So your mind's not running away. So you're just aligning. So those.
What about, do you have a mindset or a mantra or a reminder when things get like so crazy?
The mindset I always live by is keep it real and keep it simple. Always. Keep it real, meaning keep it very grounded. Show up as yourself authentically. You are enough.
Right.
People like you just as you are. You don't have to be like, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and that. I don't have to show up with any of that. I'm just like, I'm here and I'm, we're born perfect just the way we are. And, just, it's very relaxing.
Right. I think most of Filipinos, at least, are saddled with guilt and offending others, or what will the relatives or whoever say, and they're gonna feel bad if I don't show up. And what is your prescription for this kind of?
If they really love you, they'll understand. Right? If they really love you, they understand. And if they want a guilt trip, it's just a reflection of where they're at. Really. Sometimes you don't want to show up to a family reunion because you don't want to see Tito and Tita and because they make you feel bad. Well, there's a reason for that. You don't need to show up.
And you don't need to feel guilty.
Usually after 18, you're a grown adult. You're responsible for everything that happens in your life. I believe that.
Right. If you're 32 and you're still
worried about
asking for permission.
Yeah. Let's talk. No. Actually, call Mirza. Talk to Mirza.
Get the love tuner. Finally, if you could use one most important message for women to tell them how radical presence can make things possible in their lives better, what would that be?
Oh gosh, radical presence. You bring yourself to the table. When you're radically present and you're not worried about what other people are thinking about you, and you're sitting in that boardroom or in that meeting, you change the temperature in the room. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like we all have the sixth sense. When you walk into a room, you feel it and you're like, oh, that feels weird, or oh, that feels, like that. But when you are that energy, you affect that room. You walk in with that room. That's radical presence right there.
Right.
And when you're speaking, you speak clearly and you look people in the eye. They know you're there. And it's hard to BS that.
Right. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Mirza.
gracing us with your very radical presence.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate this.
So, where can people follow you and find out more about what you're doing, what you're up to?
Well, I just got back on Instagram.
Okay.
I took a break for a while.
Right.
Radical presence for my
Right.
son. So I'm just on Instagram. It's my only really social media that I do.
Right.
Yeah. Love.Teresa Herrera.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit Mirza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Mirza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.